What no one is telling you that the entire US economy has turned into one giant scam. What they're doing every single day is that they're pumping and dumping the entire stock market and making millions, if not billions of dollars in the process. And this is not any kind of exaggeration. When I look back at the last year, all I see is that they have purposely pumped and dumped the entire market. Now, pumping and dumping basically means that you start buying the stock rises dramatically, and then you massively sell the stock. That is very difficult to do because the entire value of the stock market is like $70 trillion. How are you going to pump and dump the entire stock market? It makes no sense. You can do that, for example, when there is a huge event taking place. Let's say that there is a war in some country that is one of the largest oil producers in the world. You know for a fact that there is going to be a shortage of oil in the market. So you are going to capitalize on that, buying oil when there is a lot of fear. So that is going to boost the price of oil. And then later we will realize that there's going to be some way to actually get that oil to the market. So the market is going to crash right after that. But before it crashes, you massively sell the stock. You massively start selling that oil. But this is very difficult to do because we don't have wars like every single day, or at least major wars. You can also do that with the stock market if you're a huge hedge fund. So suppose you are a few hedge funds and you have like billions of dollars or maybe dozens of billions of dollars. And right there is a company that is barely struggling. You know that after looking at their financials, they're on the brink of catastrophe and collapse. Here's what you do. You come together and you start shorting that stock. Shorting is basically you borrow the stock and then you sell it in the market instantly. That means that you still have to give back that stock, but at the same time, you're selling the stock. And the price of anything in the market is determined by demand and supply. When supply of the stock in the market starts to rise dramatically, the stocks begins to fall. Other investors looking at that and realizing that the company is on the brink of catastrophe, they don't want to lose all of their money. They don't want to risk it. So they will also start selling the stock. And that's how, for example, they actually crashed the stock of GameStop. But to do that, it's very, very difficult. You have to find the perfect target. You have to coordinate. And at the same time, you have to do it in such a way that later on, they will not accuse you of market manipulation and you're not going to lose your freedom. But what we are seeing right now is happening over the last year or so is that the entire government is pumping and dumping the entire stock market. Look at the S&P 500. Back in February, it started crashing. It crashed by about 9%. And then it recovered instantly. Now, this is what doesn't make sense. When I tell you that it crashed by 9%, that is the entire S&P 500, which is the entire US economy. There are stocks there that have crashed by 15%, by 30%, by 50%, maybe even by 100%. Why did it crash? Because Donald Trump started a major war against Iran. Now, wars are no joke. Like when you start a war, you have a long-term strategy to make some changes in the entire global economy, especially when you're starting a war against Iran, which is one of the largest countries in the world. So this war is not going to end the next day. But what do we have here? Yesterday there was a war, and today they're like, oh, we are closer to peace than ever. First, they tell us that we want a regime change. And then the next day, we have changed the regime, even though that the regime hasn't changed. So basically, we know that the objective was not met, but then we are acting like the objective was met, and the stock market is recovering. So there is no way you can actually base your decision or your investing decision on facts. Because if you're waiting for a regime change, then you have to continue with this war. But no. We just started a major war with a major goal. The stock market completely collapsed. We bought the stocks at the very lowest price, and now the market is rising again because we know that a peace is coming. So with Trump, today there is a war. Tomorrow, Iran is our best friends. I would actually be surprised if 2 weeks from now they will invite the president of Iran, who has been the president of Iran like 2 months ago before the war started, and he's still the president. He will come to the White House and they will shake hands with Donald Trump at the White House, and they will basically be eating McDonald's and answering the questions of the reporters. And then a reporter would ask Donald Trump, it's like, you wanted a regime change. What would you say? And Donald Trump will simply reply, well, the war has changed the person, so that is the true regime change. What is that other than pump and dump? Let me give you another example. Look at the S&P 500 over the last year. On 10th of February 2025, Donald Trump imposes tariffs against the rest of the world and China. The entire stock market crashes. Now, imposing tariffs is not a joke because usually countries want free trade. Free trade benefits everybody because when you actually make a good trade agreement between the two countries, now businesses can plan their businesses, they can plan their strategy, and they can start trading with one another. Businesses don't have huge profits. Yes, if you're a software business, maybe your profit margin is like 30% or 40%. But when you're a manufacturing business, your profit margins could be 2 or 3%. So when there is like even a 10% tariff, it can basically devastate your entire business. And to negotiate a trade agreement between two nations, it usually takes like 5, 10, maybe 20 years, sometimes even longer than that. And now overnight, you are destroying all of these trading relationships. But then the next day, Donald Trump says that we are the best friends with China. All the companies that had actually been impacted by tariffs, exemptions for smartphones, exemptions for chips, exemptions for computers, exemptions for electronics. Yes, we have a 150% tariff, but we have an exemption on every single thing. Now, you tell me, what's the point of the tariff at this point? Then day 3, we are raising the tariffs back to 150%. The market crashes again. Then on day 4, the Supreme Court cancels Trump's tariffs and the market recovers. As if Donald Trump didn't know that with tariffs, he's imposing a tax on Americans and the executive office has no authority to impose new taxes. That must always be done through the Congress. But maybe his strategy was like, just like he posted on Truth Social, that I'm going to impose these huge tariffs, that canceling them is going to create such a huge mess that the Supreme Court is not going to cancel them because it knows that it's going to create such a huge mess. But it's not the job of the Supreme Court. The job of the Supreme Court is to give you an answer, whether these are constitutional or unconstitutional. And if it's going to cause a huge mess in the country, well, that is the job of the White House who actually started the tariffs in the first place. And then on day 5, we're going to threaten to destroy the global economy so the stock market collapses again. And this has been happening throughout the entire last year or so. A few examples. He attacked multiple times the chairman of the Fed with such names that investors were scared, because the independence of the Fed is what keeps the US economy or the US markets independent and why investors trust them. See, at the end of the day, you can't trust anybody in the market because if you're the president, you want infinite amount of money so that you will be the best president of the United States. But that is going to create hyperinflation. So if you're the chairman of the Fed, your goal is to control inflation. So this conflict of interests is why investors want both parties to be independent, because it allows us to actually assess the risks, it allows us to predict inflation, it allows us to make much wiser investing decisions. But with these actions, you're basically crushing the market. Or the next day, Donald Trump would say that the United States of America is going to be the crypto capital of the world with strategic reserves. The price of Bitcoin shoots to the roof and they will buy it before that announcement. And then the next day, crypto crashes and Bitcoin crashes, and that's it. Or there are going to be constant threats of tariffs on anything. Like literally, it's like every other day, Donald Trump is threatening some country with tariffs. And here is the best tariff I can possibly remember. Donald Trump threatened India with like 50% tariff or so if India will continue buying Russian oil for whatever reason was there. Now, this is a very serious threat to India because if you're India, you have one of the poorest populations in the world. You have 1.5 billion people, and your job is to make sure that energy prices are the lowest possible. Why? Because even a slight increase in the energy prices or in the business is going to wipe out entire industries. And India is just rising. It's literally far away from becoming a rich country. Yes, the total GDP of India could be huge because there are like 1.5 billion people, but on the individual level, hundreds of millions of people are going to suffer. So the government of India has to take this very seriously, and investors have to take this very seriously. They might be selling some stocks, especially if it's related to Indian companies or to the Indian market. Literally a few weeks later, he starts a war with Iran and he lifts all of these restrictions from India. Now here's the question, what was the strategy? Like, if you were planning to start a war with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz will be closed because everybody knew that, literally Iran itself told the world that if you attack us, we're going to close the Strait of Hormuz. They've literally said this so many times publicly. So if you actually had that strategy, why would you actually do this? So this is a clear pump and dump strategy. This is not me basically coming out with this. This is what is literally has been happening for over a year. Well, let me give you another very funny example. So we get our unemployment report or the jobs report, and Donald Trump doesn't actually like the jobs report. And he's like, we are going to fire the head of the Bureau of the Labor Statistics and replace him with somebody that is much more loyal to Donald Trump. Now, here's the question. If you're an investor, it's very important for you to know the state of the US economy. Because if the economy is headed into a recession, the demand is going to slow down and you're going to reassess the risks and you're going to maybe sell some of your investments or make other investments. So it's very important that you have the most accurate data possible. But now when the head of the labor statistics is getting fired with somebody that could potentially be more loyal to Donald Trump, the question comes back to you. Can you trust more the US statistics or not? So you might be actually selling the stocks. The stock market goes down or certain stocks goes down. Then the next day, the new head of the labor statistics will come and say that, well, all these numbers that you got that Donald Trump didn't like, they're absolutely accurate. So now trust is being restored to the head of the labor of statistics. So what we are seeing is that a constant transfer of wealth, and it happens in such an open way that it seems like this is the most illegal pump and dump strategy I have ever seen in my entire life. And that is why it seems like the only way that you can actually make money in this economy is simply when Donald Trump starts threatening and the market goes down, you basically start buying. And you know for a fact that Donald Trump is never going to continue with this threats. And the best example you can think about is his threats against Iran. He threatened to wipe out the entire civilization, but the next day he's like, oh, I'm going to accept the 10 maximalist points that Iran has actually proposed. Now, this video isn't about to tell you or criticize Donald Trump. This video is basically to tell you how our economy works. So if you want to make money in this economy, now you have a very easy method. On one side, it seems illegal, but on the other side, it seems like this is by far like the easiest way to make money in 2026.